what's going on? Have you ever thought it's maybe time that you have to break up with yourself? Almost kind of like a relationship. You know, I'm sure you've probably been in a relationship where maybe your partner or the relationship itself with this person just isn't serving you. You know, they're bringing you down. They're not providing anything really to your life except for grief and just negativity. You don't want to be around them. You don't enjoy their company. And it just makes you dwell on life and not enjoy it. And the same thing goes for yourself. We all have a relationship with ourselves at the end of the day. And our relationship with ourselves impacts how we live our lives, impacts how we view each other, the confidence that we have, you know, whether we create or whether we stay still and don't act or don't create or have fun. And the worst thing you can do is be in a relationship with somebody who's always just bringing you down, who's preventing you from achieving your goals, not giving you a chance to focus on yourself. You know, they're like, nah, you got to focus on this. You got to prioritize, you know, this and not your goals. This is what you got to prioritize. And it's like, no, I need to prioritize my goals and my routine and what I want to do in life. Well, the same thing is for yourself. The exact same thing is for yourself. And maybe you need to break up with yourself. And what I mean by that is the relationship that you have with yourself. In order for you to be whatever you want to be in life, you have to connect to your high self, which is if you're not in your high... Whoa, the camera just shake crazy there. Holy shit, camera was doing a little twerk. If you are somebody who hasn't connected to your higher self, you're not where you want to be, you find that you procrastinate a lot and you aren't following your dreams, your goals, then this would apply to you and you need to break up with your old self. So if you want to become the person that you see yourself becoming, the person that's going for their goals, the person that doesn't care about what people think, the person that doesn't procrastinate, the person that takes action, puts in the work every single day, you need to break up with your old self. So that old version of you that's always having those negative thoughts, that always perceives you as somebody who's not good enough, somebody who procrastinates, somebody who doesn't prioritize their own goals and dreams, you gotta end that relationship. You literally gotta end that relationship. That's literally all you have to do. And the way that you do that is you start changing your mind frame, you start changing your mindset and looking at yourself as no longer that person. You are no longer the person that you break up with, right? It's like almost like when you break up with your ex, you're no longer into that quality of partner, girl, guy, whatever you're into. You're no longer into that. You have higher standards now. You have, you know, things that you want. But you also don't go back to your ex, you know? I mean, there is some people that have gone back to your ex. I've gone back to my ex in the past, and it doesn't work out. It literally is the worst thing you can do, and it's the same thing for you. If you break up with yourself and create this relationship to where you're now the guy or girl or woman or man that you want to become, but then you keep procrastinating, you keep going back to those old habits. It's like going back to your old ex. And you're not really changing anything. You're going back to the same habits that you used to do that you don't want to do anymore. And it's almost like going back to that bad relationship. That bad relationship that you know isn't good, but it's just comfortable. It's just easy. It's easy to fall back into the bad habits. It's easy to get caught up in the lust. But when you see yourself as no longer that person, and I talked about this in the pornography video, when you see yourself as no longer that person, you see yourself as a completely different version of you, a completely different person, somebody who doesn't even go for that type of lust, that short-term, you know, beneficial bullshit. You don't go back. When you've been with that partner of yours that was below your standards and, you know, you were blinded at the time. Sometimes we fall in love with people who are way below our standards, treat us poorly, and we're blinded at the time. You know, we think we're in love, but it's not love. You're blinded at the time. It's okay. But then you know that you have higher expectations. You deserve better. And it's the exact same thing for yourself. So if you are somebody who struggles with the relationship that you have with yourself, you've got to cut off that relationship that you have. That old version of yourself, gone, out of the picture. You ain't going back with them no more. You ain't hooking up with them no more. So it's like, they're out of the picture. They're gone. They are not in the equation. You are not that person anymore. You are now the person who follows their dreams, goes for their goals, doesn't care about what people think, prioritizes what they want in life, and not the other version. And there's going to be times, right? There's going to be those urges where you're going to want to go back to your ex, or you're going to want to go back to that bad habit, or you're going to want to procrastinate. But then you remember, wait a second, I'm no longer that Marcus anymore. I'm no longer that guy. I'm not that guy anymore. I am now this guy that takes action immediately. So, break up with the older version of yourself. The person in the past, the person that doesn't follow their dreams, the person that procrastinates, the person that doesn't take action. Break up with them. That's the best thing you can do for yourself, is break up with them. Because as much as we have relationships with everyone else in this world, the biggest relationship that matters the most is the relationship that we have with ourselves. You want to be like, oh, well, you know, I want this out of a relationship, blah, blah, blah. What's the relationship you have with yourself? You're trying to chase another relationship, but your relationship with yourself ain't even that good. Like, I don't understand. Yo, prioritize the relationship that you have with yourself. That's the biggest thing. If you don't like the habits that you are creating, that's okay. You just have to let yourself know, I'm sorry, but this ain't working out no more. I'm done. We're done. On to the next. It's the same thing for dating. Like, if you're going around dating, it's like, obviously it's easier to be in a comfortable relationship, be with a girl who, you know, you can nut and like have sex with, and it's easy. But it's like, yo, if it's genuinely not giving you any quality of life, or it's genuinely not providing you any fucking positivity or anything that's really good long-term wise, and why are you even in the relationship? Like, come on, you gotta have a higher standard than that. So if you don't genuinely fuck with a person, why are you in a relationship with them? If you don't genuinely fuck with a version of yourself, you don't genuinely fuck with where you are, break up with them. Break up with that self. That's all I gotta say. And yo, I'm telling you, when you break up with yourself and you start the new relationship with yourself, you're really gonna thank yourself. It's like when you break up with your bad ex and you get in a new relationship. Like, come on, it's always way more lit. Enjoy.